anything. I mean, the only thing we're guaranteed is that we're going to win 4 games this year, which is, which isn't enough. So, we got a lot more work to do. So.
A lot of work left to do for the Jaguars. Welcome here into Teal, the show. We haven't talked since Monday Night Football. I mean, what a game. All right, let's bring in Kyle. We don't have a whole lot of time to reminisce on what was on Monday night, but the Jaguars do have another home game coming up against Seattle. The team hasn't rested. The team is off and rolling. I mean, but it's tough to forget about that Monday night game.
Trevor said if you're still thinking about it, you got to move on.
All right.
That's hard. That's hard to do because we didn't get a chance to talk about it. The slip 6, however you want to call it, the 99-yard touchdown, it was a great game. Like I said, I think Liam Cohen exercised 31 years of demons in that game. And so now we're moving on to Seattle. That's a big game, too. So clean the slate, looking forward.
All right, let's turn the page on it. We're moving towards Seattle. Since that game, the Jaguars have been hard at work. They're getting ready for the Seattle Seahawks, who are coming home to the bank. This is the last one for a little while. But the team's sitting at 4-1, and they're trying to find ways to continue to improve the roster. James Gladstone never stopping working. We'll call him James Trades, Jimmy Trades, whatever you want to go with, because he's wheeling and dealing, and he's sent Tyson Campbell, up to Cleveland. So here we go. A little bit of a cornerback swap on deck this week. So Tyson Campbell makes the trip up to Cleveland. Tyson, more of a man-to-man corner, so he fits up with what they like to do in that Jim Swartz defense up there in Cleveland, while the Jaguars playing a little bit more zone these days under Coach Camp, and they bring in Greg Newsome. So Greg Newsome slides in Jacksonville, really good with his eyes on the quarterback, playing in that zone coverage. So he slides in here, going to be wearing number 6, by the way, for those of you that are wondering. There's also a little bit of a pick swap in there. I know Cleveland feels like they got the better end of it. We're here in Jacksonville. We feel like the Jaguars got the better end of the trade, right? You got a guy who fits what you want to do, plus you swap picks and basically move up almost 2 rounds when you start looking at it, because you get the Jets pick in the 6th round as opposed to the Eagles' 7th round pick. Eagles going to be a late 7th round pick. Jets probably going to be an early 6th round pick. That's a wide range. So, look, a good trade for both sides. Everybody wins in this one, but the Jaguars have a new guy in the defensive backfield.
They do. And, we got to see him today. He was out there at practice. We saw him working with Travis Hunter a little bit and DB's coach. So yep. We'll see how much he can play. I know I'll ask you some questions here shortly, but we also got to talk to him a little after practice. Let's run some of that sound.
Yeah, but now, the goal is to beat Seattle, so I got to do whatever I can to get the playbook down as fast as I can so we can get a win.
How tough is it to get up to speed that quickly in a couple days?
Yeah, it's definitely tough, but, I'm a Northwestern man, so I pride myself on my brains, so I'll be all right. Yeah, that was the biggest difference. Obviously, in Cleveland, you're sitting there mad, we got to find a way. And then when I get here, I'm like, wow, we just won. Obviously I didn't play, but we just won. So, yeah, it feels amazing. I'm just going to try to do my best to help them keep this upward trend up.
Look, must be nice to wake up 4-1, right? Look, it doesn't get too much better than that. So definitely a good landing spot for Greg Newsome. Seems happy to be in Jacksonville.
Yeah, no, it does. And you said it. You just completely flipped the record. So he's got to be feeling good. I want to ask you this. The Tyson thing, now, it was kind of a surprise. I didn't see it coming. I don't think most people saw it coming, but it's not necessarily a bad thing, right?
No, not a bad thing at all. Look, honestly, this was a fit trade. This wasn't a salary dump. Yeah, Tyson had a bigger salary than Greg Newsome does, who's on the last year of his contract, but this was a fit thing. Liam Cohen even said it on Friday that, look, this wasn't a cultural move. Look, Tyson is a good team guy, and that's one of the guys that you hate to see go, but they also bring in another guy who's a good locker room guy, a good team guy in Greg Newsome. This was honestly fit. Tyson Campbell doesn't necessarily fit what the Jaguars want to do on defense really well, and we saw some of those busted coverages along the way. Greg Newsome fits better, and this team is trying to figure out how to push all their chips in and go and win football games right now. They're looking at themselves in the mirror and saying, for 4-1, you know what, why not press the gas? And that's what they look at this as.
So adding Newsome elevates this defense and this secondary right now.
Yeah, look, that makes them better in the immediate. It makes them better in the immediate by adding Greg Newsome. Then they have the option of figuring out if they want to work out a contract with him to keep him here in Jacksonville. Now, the question is, does it make them better on Sunday? That's the tough part. So we asked Greg Newsome about how tough it would be to get up to speed in just a couple of days. His response, He's a Northwestern man, and he prides himself on his intellect. So we'll see if Greg Newsome can learn what the Jaguars do on defense in just a couple of days, because that is tough. They did a lot of the defensive guys have been asking this question this week, and they said, look, they honestly do some complicated things, and it's going to take him a little bit of time to get up to speed. But hey, Northwestern on the resume, maybe Greg Newsome can be all ready to go by Sunday.
So if you had to look in your crystal ball, make a prediction, how much do you think we see him on the field Sunday?
20, maybe 30% of the snaps, something like that. Look, I think you're trying to
ease
replace.
him in there?
Yeah, I think they'll ease him in. I think you're going to see a lot more Buster Brown this week. I think he's going to step up and play the difference in the snaps until Newsome can get fully up to speed so they can roll him out there comfortably and confidently.
Okay. All right. Hey, we like Buster Brown. I'm excited. You know, the Baselli and Gladstone, they seem like they're making moves, so it's exciting. It is a little sad to see Tyson go. We are going to miss him. He did make some great plays, but excited for the future and what's to come for sure.
Here's one thing I can promise you. This team is not going to be like sitting pat. They are going to be aggressive. The trade deadline is not here. It would not surprise me if they were not done. That would not surprise me at all. So we'll see what happens. Maybe something else will pop up. We still got time on Teal the Show. We got to stop talking trade and start talking Seattle. We'll do more of that on the other side of this quick break.
Hey, man, I got to say one thing. Actually, no, 3 things right now. Number 1, kick some butt. Number 2, we're going to win the Super Bowl. And number 3, Super Bowl!
Look, there you go. Kids excited. I mean, what a call like that right after Monday Night Football. We can slow down a little bit from the Super Bowl, but right now you feel pretty good. 4-1, come on.
So those are some heavy predictions, and I like the 3 things.
3 things.
Next time he's got to do 4 things because we are Channel 4, but
that's right.
We'll take 3 things, and hey, I like the sound of that.
We'll add a 4th one to it, maybe an MVP or something in there the next time. So we'll go 4 things next time. But the Duval dial-ups are always fun. If you want to get in on the fun, make sure you give us a call. All you got to do is dial that phone number that's going to be on your screen right now. Give us a call. Let us know how you're feeling about the Jaguars. Good, bad, ugly, anywhere in between. Let us know, and you might hear yourself right here on Teal the Show or on Channel 4 and one of our other programs along the way. We like to have a little bit of fun. Open lines of communication, right?
Yeah, that communication is key. In all aspects of life, even on the football field.
Even on the football field, because that's what it's all about. Look, Liam Cohen and Trevor Lawrence are still working through their communication on that offensive side of the ball, but you got to feel like the light kind of came on Monday night. You cracked 30, you outscored the Kansas City Chiefs. The defensive guys have all been saying that wasn't up to our standard all week, but the offense bailed us out. So you like to think that is the baby step we kind of been waiting for this offense to kind of jump into high gear.
Yeah, and we'll get to predictions in a minute here, but I was only 1 point off on my prediction, so you know, we'll keep trying to move those. But as you said, it did kind of seem like, you know, they're starting to hit their group. We still have yet to see this team play a complete game,
right?
But we did talk to Trevor earlier in the week, and what he's kind of seen a lot of and what he's like to see is just how on all sides of the ball they're playing complementary football and they're making plays when the plays need to be made.
I think there is something to be said for it. Not just me. I think just our team, like making plays when it matters the most. Like that's the way these games are in the NFL. It's going to come down to the end of the game most of the time. You know, there's some games that are a little lopsided, but most of the time it's a 1-score game. So finding a way to make a play when you need it, when you have to, you know, in order to win a game, that says a lot about our team. And I think, you know, preparation equates to that a lot of times, just feeling confident and prepared, and regardless of how the game has gone, you know, being able to move on to the next play is something that I've had to learn throughout my career of, you know, maybe early on in my career, it's like some plays that I wanted back earlier in the game might affect me later in the game, but I've just realized that, you know, we're at the end of the game, it's going to come down to a series or 2, and whoever makes those plays, whichever team makes those plays is going to win. So I've just had a lot of experience of being in that situation on the other side of it too, where you don't make those plays and you just learn a lot. And, you know, I think that's helping us, and we got to continue to do it. Like I said, it's early in the year and we've been able to make some of those, but it's been cool to see from our team being able to respond.
It all comes down to a couple of plays, and they got a good Seattle team coming in. Jackson Smith and Jigba, he's playing well. So they're coming off a short week. This isn't an easy game for the Jaguars.
Hey, an inch is the difference sometimes. I can think of a speech from Any Given Sunday that I'll save everybody from me recanting right now.
Right now, come on.
All right, so big game this week against the Seattle Seahawks. This is a pretty good Seahawks team, but Sam Darnold saw some ghosts in Jacksonville last year when he came here with the Minnesota Vikings. The defense able to have a pretty solid day out there for a defense that was struggling a year ago. We'll see if the Jaguars can give him some fits again. I always think back to when Sam Darnold comes around. He said up in New York that he was seeing ghosts, and then Jackson DeVille's out on the field with a ghost thing going. They're playing Ghostbusters at the bank.
How could you not? I mean, that's a good call. That's good stadium energy. You have to hit them where it hurts.
Hit them where it hurts. Hit them where it hurts. So this is a big one. This is a big one against the Seattle Seahawks. This is the last home game until Week 11. So the bank does need to be rocking for this one.
We do.
If you can get some of that energy that you had on Monday night back at the bank on Sunday, then you gotta like the Jaguars' chances in this one, right, Kyle?
Yes. So I am going to pick the Jaguars. I'm rolling with the Jaguars. You might not get me to not pick the Jaguars the rest of the year because I was feeling them Kansas City, and I'm still feeling them. I will say that if there's one that they're going to drop off, I could understand this one because it is a short week, but I'm not going to pick against them. I'm going Jaguars. I'll go 24-21, maybe a little lower scoring, but I think, you know, the offense is figuring out, the defense is making plays, and as long as they can do those two things and special teams, you know, gets the kicks right, makes the field goals, then they're going to be a hard team to beat. This is a good Jaguar team, Jamal, and the NFL's noticing. Everybody watched that game Monday, so I think people are on notice that this isn't the same Jaguars that they've been used to seeing.
Yeah, I don't think teams are going to look past the Jags anymore. You know, sometimes you've seen these Jaguar games in the past where maybe the first quarter, the second quarter teams sleepwalk in because they're like, it's the Jags, it's fine. You're not going to get that anymore. So with that said, I think this is a tough game. You got to make sure you get to Sam Darnold and make him see some ghosts. But you also got to slow down that Seahawks running game. Kenneth Walker Jr. can get going. Zach Charbonnet can get going. And Jackson Smith and Jigba, their wide receiver, that's a tough cover. And you got a brand new corner here in town who would be probably your guy, who you don't know how much he's going to be able to play. It looks like, if I had to guess, Trayvon Walker has a better shot at going this week than he did last week, and I think they were hopefully would play last week. So we probably see Trayvon out there, but we'll see how that shakes out. Those are the good things, or those are the things that you got to worry about. Here's why I'm going to pick the Jaguars, because I am going to roll with the Jags in this one.
Let's go.
The Seahawks injury list is a mile long. Their secondary is banged up. This is the one where if the Jaguars passing game is going to get rolling, it's this week. There's a possibility that the Seahawks could be without their top 2, maybe even top 3 cornerbacks on Sunday. Injuries are real. The Seahawks are a banged-up football team, and the Jaguars, while they got a couple injuries under their belts, they're a lot healthier than Seattle is. I'm rolling with Jacksonville. I'm going to roll with them 31-24.
Okay, a little higher scoring. I like that.
I think they'll be all right in this one. I think they'll be able to space themselves out. Like I said, that defense is banged up for the Seahawks. This is one where the Jaguars offense, they've moved the ball, but this is the one where if you're going to be that team, when you go against a banged up defense, you got to hang it on them. So 31-24, that's where I'm at. I think the Jaguars pull off a W and go to London 5-1. Now, that Rams game, you talking about picking against the Jags? We'll talk about that in a week. But, you know, hey, we appreciate you hanging out with us here on Teal the Show. Look, these are always a lot of fun. Every Monday and Friday night, come hang out with us here on Channel 4 at 11:20. We'll talk about your favorite team. If you're going out to the game on Sunday, come see us. We'll be out tailgating, or tailgating as we like to call it, at the Slab. And if you're staying at home and want to get all the same tailgate energy and have a little bit of fun along the way, you can hang out with us right here on Channel 4 from 11 to noon on Sunday. We'll do that before each and every Jaguars home game. We appreciate you spending some of your Friday night with us here, right here on Channel 4. Good night, everybody, and go Jags.